Work with text frames in InDesign. So there are some nice shortcuts that InDesign offers us as we place text in our InDesign documents. The first being a semi-auto-flowing text. So this is a method for manually threading text through multiple frames. So I'm going to do a File and Place. And notice that I don't have any text boxes right now in this document. And if you look at pages, this document is 7 pages long. So I'm on page 2 of my page 2-3 spread here. And when I do a File and Place, I get my loaded text cursor or icon indicating that I'm ready to place some text. So I'm going to choose this first page over here, and I'm going to click right in the top corner of this column. And what InDesign will do is it will create a text box for me in the confined areas of this column. So if I hold down now my Alt key and click the Outset text icon here, Alt and click down here, I get a little kind of a curlicue arrow, and that indicates that I'm going to auto flow, and I can click on my next column and it again creates the text within that column and gives me my overset text or output again. Now this time I'm going to hold down the Alt key and I get it, but I'm going to also hold down Shift. Now Shift by itself, when I go up here to the top, I'm going to hold Shift and click. Again, there is no text box here. And what Shift will do is it populates the rest of my text within the guidelines that my document has been set up as. So now my text flows on all of the pages according to the columns. And also, if I don't have enough pages, InDesign will add those pages for me. So this is a really fast way to input a lot of text into a multi-page document. Now how about inserting some special characters? I'm going to navigate to page 5 by double-clicking. Page 5, I don't want this story to flow on that page because InDesign automatically made these text boxes. It floated on every single page, 2 columns every page. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just click and delete these text boxes. And what it will do is basically continue. So what was on page 4, instead of flowing into page 5, now goes down to page 6. So it just sort of skips over that. I also can go to pages and resize my text boxes that were made for me. So in this case, I don't want the text to overflow on this image, so I'm just going to click and drag them up. Okay. Now back to page 5. We have some special characters that we can bring in to InDesign, and that being the ability to change a column, to do sort of an insert column break option. So I'm going to set up my document here. Initially, I need to have 3 columns on this page. So I'm going to go to, with this page highlighted and being active, I'm going to go to my layout and margins and columns. This is going to change my columns for only this page. And I click OK. So now I have 3 columns here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a File and Place and insert my sidebar copy. I get my loaded cursor. I'm going to click and drag between these 3 columns. Now InDesign doesn't know in this specific text box that I need 3 columns. I just set up the column guides. So now I need to change my text box. So to do that, I need to change text frame options under the object menu. So object menu, text frame options. For this text frame only, I want 3 columns. Click OK. So now I have 3 columns here. The text flows. And I need to insert now my break. So I'm going to click right before the W. I'll zoom in for you. Right before the W here. And I'm going to insert. It's a special character actually. So I'm going to do it in Type menu and Insert Break Character. and here it is, column break. My text jumps up to the next column, very clean and neat. I'm going to do that one more time. Type menu, insert, break character, and column break. There we have it. So now, double-clicking on my hand tool will allow me to see my full spread, and I have a nice column break. What if I need to tell my readers that this text that's on page 4 continues on page 6? I can do that with an automatic feature that InDesign has that's called continued on page or next page number. So again, it's a special character, but I have to set up, I have to do some prep work. There is a little bit of a trick with this one. So I'm going to reduce the size of my text box, and I'm going to create a new text box with my type tool. Now the bit of a trick here, and I'll type in continued on page, and I'm going to put a uppercase letter X as a placeholder for the moment. Okay, we're going to zoom in here to see this a little bit closer. So what I have is a text box, continued on page, and an X. Now here's the little bit of a trick. This text box has to at least touch or overlap slightly the box that the text is going to be linked to. So in other words, this text box is being continued on page 6. In order for InDesign to know where that threaded text is going, I have to at least touch or overlap slightly with my continued on page indicator. So I'm going to select my uppercase X that was just my placeholder, and I'm going to navigate to my type menu, insert special characters, under markers, and here I have some options, and I'm going to choose next page number. And look how it places 6 for me. Now here's what happens if these boxes are not touching. It puts the placeholder or the page of the current text where I'm at right now. When I overlap it, it now tells me where this text is continued on. So of course I should do some formatting, probably rearrange how this is laying, how it's arranged inside this box and container, make it look visually pleasing, but that's an easy way for InDesign to tell the readers where this text continues. The nice thing about this is it's automatic. So if I rearrange pages within my document, InDesign will automatically update these numbers. So there are some quick ways to deal with type in InDesign.